Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here again at another fascinating tool, a tool to give you answers, a divination tool. And here's another classic tool. It's really fascinating, and these are very rare as well. NEMO or NEMO, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, the clairvoyant astrologer. Ask a question, get an explicit answer. Astonishingly accurate, unlock the secrets of the future. Because a lot of people think that astrology is very general. I mean, designed for family entertainment. As seen on TV. So this was actually advertised on TV, created by Charles Light. Very interesting. And of course, can we guess what year this was made? Well, it's the usual situation, of course. Let's see if there's anything on the back. But here we go. It was produced by Creston Industries. What year could that possibly be? 1969, as usual. This is the golden age of metaphysics, astrology, and everything else. Of course, astrology is a very potent form of divination and charting your life. It works. It's been proven to work, and there's just no doubt about it. There's nothing on the back. Oops. And we will now enter and see exactly what this is all about. This is a very cool tool here. You know, I hate calling these things games, but let's read what it says here. And I think this sums up most of these tools that we're working on. This is not a game, but you can play it. It's not a toy, but you can use it. It's based on scientific astrological forces, the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, and it can affect your life. There are times you can succeed at anything you do. And there are times you can't succeed at anything you do. These times are said to be influenced by your zodiac sign. And in some mysterious cosmic way, NEMO can tell you when these times are. Ask a specific question, and he will always give you a specific answer. It's almost too revealing and too truthful to play. Again, 1969 here. Very fascinating. And this is a really cool and unusual tool. You know, as I say with everything, I don't know, people just don't get how amazing and how difficult it is to make and design anything. And the money that it costs. Nobody really appreciates these things until they actually go out and do it themselves. Well, comes with this very fascinating little wheel. You could call, I guess, this kind of a calculator. Now, I'm not going to go into all this and go through how it works. These things take too long. But it's a relatively simple system. Get some glare off of here. It comes in this nice box. Let's get all the things out of here. It comes with a pad to write down all of your numbers, which you get from here. So let's look at this yet again. This is really fascinating. It's got this wheel, and there's different numbers in here. But this is actually a way of charting what's happening to you specifically at a particular time for you and your sign. Now, all of us have astrological signs, and these astrological signs mean that they're the alignment of many planets in the universe. And while these energies tend to be subtle, as we know, subtle energies can be very potent. And you also have thousands and thousands, maybe millions of subtle energies combining together to create a larger energy, which will affect your particular energy because you were born at a particular time. Now, we do need to understand that astrology comes from the ancient Egyptians. So it's not just something made up. Astrology has gotten a bad rep because of the little newspaper things, you know, this is a good day, this is a bad day, written for anybody. And those are really not meant to be taken seriously. But having your chart done, figure out where you're at, and how you are progressing in that particular year and time. Well, these are the little things that everybody should have. You should have charts done. You should have that information so that you can use it in your daily life. As with all divination, you do have to be careful that you don't start responding to the information that you get. This happens when I was very much into divination many years ago, and you have to be careful. If it says it's a bad day, are you going to make it a bad day, or is that just some sort of warning? So it's very important that you understand that and use all divination tools as a guide in terms of a general pathway instead of making it happen. But that's always difficult with divination, and that's the problem with it. Now, here's the actual little pad you get with the system. Planet number, moon number, NEMO number, sun number, subtract element number, astrology number, sub-question number, your answer. So it's a very scientific system. I mean, this has been extremely well put together at a time when astrology was the thing. It was advertised on TV. It was taken seriously. 1969. Can you imagine an astrological kit being advertised now? It comes with the NEMO answer book. Again, NEMO, Cadence Industries from Passaic, New Jersey. You can order additional pads from there if you go back in time to 1969. So these are fairly rare, so I don't know how much they sold on television. You don't see them pop up. Sometimes you do, and they're very expensive. Here's a kind of a question card if you're thinking about, well, what do you need answers to? Here's the NEMO question card. Does my husband love me? Should I change my job? Will a friend enter my life? Is someone close to me in danger? Should I sell my stocks? Should I have more children? Will I marry my girlfriend? So it's these type of things, and there are 48 questions on here of general value. So you can kind of use this. You know, a lot of people just, everybody kind of zones out. So here's a way they have prepared questions. Obviously, you can ask any question you want. Here's the instruction book. Many people have claimed down through the ages that what happens in the heavens may have an effect on those here on Earth, as astrology, which predates astronomy, I didn't know that, date back 5,000 years and has been studied, interpreted, and practiced in every culture, civilization, and society. Astrology is an art of divining the fate of future humans beings based upon the position of sun, moon, planet, stars, according to defined rules of interpretation. References to it can be found in the Bible as well as writings of the ancient Greeks and Romans. The position of the sun relative to the moon. A lot of people don't understand that you're using the moon, the stars, the sun, etc. It's not just your planet. Planets and stars at the moment of one's birth is used to indicate an individual's personality and traits. Astrologers maintain that stars merely point the way, they do not coerce. Thus, an astrological reading is not a rigid forecast, but it's pointing you in a direction. I talked about this as well, and you have to be careful. If, with all divination systems, I don't care what it is, tarot, etc., and you go to people and they claim that they are so right and they know exactly what's going to happen. Well, this gets into your subconscious and you start making things happen. So if it's a bad day, you make it bad. I guess that's not, when you think it's a good day, I guess that's helpful to you. It goes and talks about which dates and what your sign is. Now, this is not just this is the clairvoyant astrologer. Allows you to ask a specific question and receive a specific answer after a brief computation. So you have to fill out that form, which seems a bit complex to me, but I don't know. I really, again, I've never really worked with this, but it is something that, it's a way of getting an astrological reading for what's happening. And there are, most of these things have probably been surpassed now by computer programs, but do we know how good any of the modern programs are? So generally, check the components in the box, blah, blah, blah. The host or one member of the family serves as the reader. Another one is the subject. The reader asks the subject his birth date, and then he looks up the subject's zodiac sign on the astrological dial. That's this thing. The reader then picks the corresponding NEMO zodiac card from the deck of 12 cards and reads the information on the back to the subject. The reader then has a subject fill in his name, birth date, etc. Reader gives the subject a question card asking him to select a question. The subject does not reveal the question chosen, but must remember its number. This is also a circled number at the end of the question. There's a number there. The reader will use this number later on. On the front of the subject's zodiac card is a sun number and an element number. The reader enters these numbers on the reading chart in the appropriate place. So it goes into how all that's done. I don't know if anybody quite understands it. As I said, trying to do that in a little video here is not the point of this. What we're showing you is the kind of cool, sophisticated, very high quality types of products that were out there, particularly apparently anything from about 65 on up. To approximately 75. But it seems like 69, 70, 68, all in that area, it was a huge growth. Now, that's kind of before my time there, as I was a teenager in the 70s. And it seems like the 70s were busy, but also it really depended on your family. A lot was produced in the 70s. But there was a revolt against the hippy-dippies. And what really happened is that most of this stuff was seen as superstitious, and it really depended on how, quote, religious. And unfortunately, my family were kind of religious Roman Catholics, while my mother was very much into all these things and even was a member of the occult book club for a while. The church came out and said, don't read that stuff, don't do this, don't do that. And she pretty much threw most of the books away and stopped her subscription to the book club. Very stupidly, of course. But that's how people thought, and being a typical woman from that era, and having a very ignorant, stupid father, I mean, really just a very